Land of Dreams.
Take the trip with us
on Radio SI.
And kind of being at home everywhere and nowhere. Sounds funny, you know, it's like I almost felt more at home here when I didn't live here, because when I was on the road, I didn't expect to feel at home anywhere. And then when you start trying to feel at home somewhere, it takes time, and I'm confident that I'm going to get there.
Laura, do you go swimming in the lake?
Yeah, we have done. We were all in, and the little one was in as well a couple of weeks ago. I think we kept going last year until, October or something.
For the record, Can you tell me your name, place of origin and age?
My name is Laura Easingwood. I was born in Dundee, Scotland, and I am 34, I think.
And how long have you been here in Bled?
That's another thing I've actually found quite hard to figure out, but I've got into the habit of saying about 2 years. I think it's about 2 years, because I kind of came and went quite a few times.
We have your little child with you here.
Yeah, Micha.
Micha?
Yep.
Okay, he's sleeping right now.
He is. He's 16 months, and he's a good little chap.
And you were a bus driver, right?
Yeah, I was for about 10 years. I was looking for a job in Scotland. I saw an advert in the paper for driver guides for the Scottish Highlands. And I thought, so I applied and they interviewed me and they said, yeah, the only thing is you do know you're going to have to be a bus driver to do the job. So I had to pass the licence, and that was a whole big epic story. It wasn't really my thing, but it became my thing, and I actually grew to really love it. I was usually the only woman, and I was usually about 30 years younger than everyone else. You had to be twice as good to get half the respect.
I've been to the south.
And I was doing this tour that was from Prague down to Split, down into Croatia, then back up through Slovenia and Austria. And it was a 14-day loop. And my rest days were in Bled.
And time off in Bled?
Yeah, every 10 days I would be here for 2 days. That was actually the first time I came through. I met Bojan, who's now my partner.
My name is Bojan. I'm Laura's husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So how did you two meet?
Matter of lucky circumstances. It's a really local bar near where I live, and I came there and I saw her, and then I fall in love. And I couldn't believe actually that she that night just came with a full coach of tourists. Actually, I couldn't believe it. And she said, okay, if you don't trust me, look, come in 2 weeks and you will see me driving. And I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
You went back to
Yeah.
Is that your version as well, or is your version different?
No, that's pretty much it. It was the first tour that I'd brought through here, and I had a day off the next day. And obviously, when I had a day off from driving, I quite wanted to go for a beer. And nobody from the tour or my tour guide, nobody wanted to come out for a beer. And I was like, oh, for goodness sake, you know. But being a Scottish girl, going to the pub by myself wasn't a problem. So it wasn't summertime, so there weren't really any tourists in the pub yet, or anyone who wasn't local. It was just the local boys. So Bojan was the loudest.
The loudest.
Yeah, the most persistent.
Okay.
Do you want to come and get a kebab?
Yeah.
It was very romantic.
I also, my famous punchliner.
Oh yeah. Do you like me already, or would you like another beer? You can get me a beer, thanks. From when I was a teenager, I was very fond of English folk bands, a folk rock band called The Levellers, and they had a song called One Way. I think that's more of a life in general kind of a song.
You are listening to Land of Dreams. This week with Laura Easingwood, a Scot living in Slovenia.
This is the maze.
Yeah,
Wow.
just lose yourself in there.
The labyrinth,
It
right?
is, yeah.
Okay. Are you somehow involved in this as well, or is it just your husband?
It's my husband and his friend Luca, but the first year when we were clearing the land, I was helping. This year, I'm not so much involved.
Because of the kid as well.
Yeah, and because we have the apartments and the guests, I deal with the bookings and cleaning the apartments and welcoming the guests side of things.
She told me that you run this labyrinth.
Yes, yes. Successfully running for 2 years. This is the third. This is the info point, and you start here, and you have to find your pet to all these interactive points. I will show you. You get the map.
Okay.
Как ти си rekao mama? Vi reći mama. Vi reći mama.
Where's Mama?
Mama.
So officially you've been here for 2 years.
Yeah.
Are you happy with your decision?
Yeah, I would say I am. It was a funny sort of decision for me because at the time it was more a decision about stopping being bus driver for me because I hadn't really lived anywhere for a long time, and it was kind of taking the decision to end that life. It was the coming off the road part that was a big decision. It's a new chapter, you know, and I think everyone feels like that. Maybe especially women, you know, when they become parents.
Tired and broke, so
I feel very privileged to have started my family here, you know. When I compare notes with friends back home, I think there's a lot of things that are better here. This is where our life is, and certainly we plan to send him to kindergarten and school here.
Was he born here?
Yeah, he was born here. So yeah, I mean, I like to go back to Scotland, obviously, but certainly the plan is that this is where we're going to live. Yeah.
Nice. Do you think a land of dreams exists?
I think some days it does. I think, you know, some days you have the feeling that you're doing exactly the right thing and you're in the right place, and other days you're not so sure, and maybe that's just life. One of the first things that struck me about this part of Slovenia in the mountains and the style of the architecture and the way the villages look and everything, that it reminded me a lot of Switzerland and Austria, but I liked it better because it was kind of like, nothing against Switzerland, I think it's a beautiful place, but for me it's always just a tiny bit creepy because it's so perfect. It's like they made the wood piles with a spirit level, and you know, the houses are always newly painted, everything's just perfect, whereas Slovenia, it's like that, but it's real. It's real, it's lived in, you know. Sometimes the paint peels a bit, you know, sometimes there's chickens in front of the houses, and for me that's much more beautiful than being everything in its place. If everything is in its place everywhere and nothing is broken or dirty, I just wonder what they're hiding, you know?
Okay. Nice thoughts for the end.
lives in me.
So Laura, it was nice to meet you and nice to spend some time with you here in Bled.
Likewise, it's been fun.
And I wish you, your son and your husband all the best.
Thank you.
Of the young man's smile, the faith that's in a little child.
Land of Dreams. Take the trip with us every Wednesday at 11:20 a.m. and every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Only
On Radio SI.